remember the first time that I looked up and saw the other half. I saw Asmodee up in the sky, and I was just like, wow. I mean, that's the other side. That's where the other players are, and it's a really cool feeling. I am Lanny, also known as Liv. My main character is Liv, and that is actually the same name I go by in the community, and she is a sorcerer. I am many people in game. I really try to play as many characters and classes as I can, just because I get asked so many questions every day about all of them. One of the first things I say, when I meet people and they ask what is AION, is I explain what the word means. So AION is the name of the god. He created the world of Atreia, everything inside the world, and all of the resources used to keep the world running.
AION is an extremely cool fictional world that's been torn in half.
We create this rich, unique, ethereal world where we have these two races struggling against each other, and a third evil faction as well.
You need something in an MMO to tie you down. If it's not your friends, if it's not a guild or a legion, it has to be the story in the game. That's what's really cool about AION, is there's a really rich lore.
The game is really polished. When you look at the environments, you look at the ambient creatures, and you even look at some of the ambient animations, it just brings you into the world. It really makes you feel like you're a part of Atreia.
Atreia is the world. Atreia is the planet. So the sphere inside which everyone lives. And the Tower of Eternity was sort of like the sun. It was the place from whence all energy and life was bound to flow.
If you kind of think of an apple, like an apple core, that's kind of what it is. Like the Tower of Eternity runs right through the center.
When you look up in AION, you see both the stump of the Tower of Eternity, as well as in the distance what might look like stars, but is actually the other half of Atreia.
So we have the upper half of Atreia, which is Asmodee, and the lower half, which is Elysia. The Aelios have stayed almost true to how they looked 1,000 years ago. They have rich beaches and lush green environment. The Asmodeans, they really had to struggle to survive. And what I think is really cool, their eyes glow red when they're about to engage in combat. The major story point, the thing that drives the player to move forward, and kind of the overlying arc of the main story would be the destruction of the Tower of Eternity. I think that's really why we're here.
What happened was the god AION created this race, and this race, rose to power and became known as the Balor. And this Balor started to terrorize all the humans on, all parts of the world. And this obviously, didn't go well for either side. There was lots of bloodshed and war and fighting.
And that battle occurred, and the tower was shattered. Thousands of years went by where they had no idea that the other side had survived, and they started to evolve differently. That's when they rediscovered each other in the abyss. That is in the center of the planet, and that is home to the Valor, and they are AI-controlled faction. We have the three factions, the Asmodeans, the Aelios, and the Valor, all together in the abyss, fighting for eternal power.
What AION does really well is it gives you a sense of purpose, and it makes you feel like you do have an impact in this world of Atreia.
When the player begins playing, there's a sort of a mystery about where they came from and what their destiny might be. And it doesn't take long before they realize that they are destined to ascend and become a deva and fight in this sort of holy war.
You actually go through a process called ascension. And ascension is this awakening inside of you that happens through a life-altering event. The best part of this is that you actually earn your wings and the ability to fly.
You learn you're immortal and you get wings. It doesn't get much better than that.
We have this element of flight in the game.
Flight, it's added an entirely new dynamic to battle. There's a lot of strategy that's involved with flight.
A new way of getting around in the world that MMOs haven't been able to do to this point.
The feeling of being in the air and flight is, pretty much unmatched in any MMO out there.
You do start off with a basic set of wings, and they're white on the Aelios side and black on the Asmodean side.
And that's something that you get to evolve and customize and build upon through the development of your character, is adding longer flight ability, adding enhancements to your wings so that you can fly longer.
You'll actually see people kind of go into this, do I want to be aerial heavy or do I want to be kind of a ground trooper? People are going to have to manage their stats based around that. You're not going to be able to have everything. And this will create a diversity in, throughout classes, throughout stats, and just more customization in the world of ION.
It actually leaks into your real life. I went hiking this weekend and I was standing on the top of Mount Si and I was looking over the Seattle horizon and I was like, man, if I had wings, this would be so cool. I could just like fly down. And I think that you have that same feeling in game where you just, jump off a cliff and hit spacebar.